The Great Spirit didn't carve the canyons to be easy on your feet. He carved them to see if you were brave enough to keep walking when your moccasins wore through to the bone. High above the painted desert, where the heat shimmers like a ghost and the wind carries the scent of ancient dust, lived a young man named Chayton. In the language of his people, Chayton meant falcon. But Chayton felt more like a flightless sparrow. He lived in a tribe of giants, men who could wrestle a buffalo to the earth and women who could weave blankets that told the history of the stars. Chayton was small. He was slow. When the other boys practiced with the lance, Chayton usually ended up face down in the dirt, the laughter of his peers ringing louder than the tribal drums. One evening, Chayton sat on the edge of the Spirit Cliff, watching the sun bleed crimson across the horizon. He felt the weight of the world pressing down on his shoulders. "It's too hard," he whispered to the wind. "The world is too big, and I am too small. I am destined to be the man who never wins." "You are right," a voice rasped from the shadows. Chayton jumped. Sitting behind a scorched juniper tree was Wakan, the old one. Wakan was so old his skin looked like the bark of a cedar tree, and his eyes were milky with cataracts. Yet he seemed to see right through Chayton's soul. "You probably won't win, little falcon," Wakan said, his voice like dry leaves skittering across stone. "Most people don't. The river washes most pebbles away. The winter kills most weak calves. Life is a brutal teacher that gives the test before the lesson. Statistically, you are meant to fail." Chayton felt a cold shiver. "Then why do we even wake up? Why try if the odds are set against us?" Wakan leaned forward, the smell of sweet grass and old smoke surrounding him. "Because the win is a lie told by storytellers. The real glory is in the trying. If you want to defy the Great Spirit's math, if you want to be the one who stands when the world says you should be buried, here is exactly how you do it." Wakan picked up a handful of sand and let it trickle through his gnarled fingers. "The first thing you must do, Chayton, is stop expecting the mountain to move for you. You think life is hard because you think it should be easy. You think it is unfair because you think there is a set of rules that protects you." He pointed to a hawk circling above. "Does the hawk think it's unfair when the rabbit escapes? Does the rabbit think it's unfair when the hawk strikes? No, they simply are. To try and win, you must accept that the universe is indifferent to your feelings. When you stop complaining that the path is rocky, you can finally focus on where to place your feet. The lesson: acceptance is power. When you stop wasting energy being angry at how hard life is, you can use that energy to climb. You are not the strongest," Wakan said bluntly. "If you try to fight the buffalo with your chest, you will die. You must become like the coyote. The coyote is the trickster of the plains. He isn't the fastest or the strongest, but he is always the last one standing. The coyote wins because he has no ego," Wakan explained. "He doesn't care if he looks noble. He will eat a lizard if he cannot find a deer. He will hide in the brush if the wolves are near. He uses the world's rules against itself." He told Chayton that to try in a hard world, you must use a symmetry. If you aren't strong, be fast. If you aren't fast, be patient. If you aren't patient, be clever. "Find the gap in the hedge," Wakan whispered. "The big warriors always try to break down the door. The winner finds the open window in the back." Wakan led Chayton to a clearing where a single wooden post stood. "Shoot at the post," Wakan commanded. Chayton drew his bow. His arms shook. The arrow sailed wide and vanished into the tall grass. He tried again, and again. By the 20th shot, he was ready to throw his bow into the fire. "I am a failure," Chayton spat. "No," Wakan replied. "You are just at number 20. You think the great chiefs were born with arrows that found hearts? They shot 10,000 arrows that hit nothing but air. They failed more times than you have even tried." Wakan explained that winning is a numbers game. If you have a 1% chance of succeeding, you cannot try only once. You must try 100 times just to get to the starting line. The one who wins is usually just the person who was too stubborn to stop being a loser. The old one laughed. "You must fall in love with the miss as much as the hit. Each miss tells you how to adjust your aim. Winter began to descend upon the high country. The air turned into a blade of ice. Food became scarce, and the tribe's spirit began to wane. The strong hunters grew bitter, snapping at their families, blaming the heavens for the lack of elk. Chayton, however, remembered Wakan's words. "Your mind is a lodge," Wakan had told him. "If you let the cold winds of doubt blow through the door, your fire will go out. You must guard your hope like the last coal of a great fire." While others sat and cursed the snow, Chayton worked. He didn't try to find the elk that were gone. He looked for the fish under the ice. He didn't try to stay warm by wishing for the sun. He dug a pit in the earth and lined it with dry grass. He understood that maintenance is a survival skill. Keep your body moving. Keep your mind curious. Keep your heart soft, even when the world is hard. If you lose your inner fire, you are dead long before they bury you. One night, a massive storm tore through the village. Chayton's small shelter, the one he had worked weeks to build, was crushed by a falling pine branch. Everything he had gathered was gone in a single crack of wood. He stood in the snow, shivering, looking at the wreckage of his hard work. He felt the familiar urge to give up. Wakan appeared from the darkness, wrapped in a heavy buffalo robe. He didn't offer a hand. He just watched. "Well?" Wakan asked. "The world just took your win. What now?" Chayton looked at the ruins. He looked at his frozen hands. Then he looked at the old one and shrugged. "So what?" Chayton said. "I still have my hands. I still know how to build. The mountain didn't kill me. It just gave me a clean slate." Wakan's toothless grin split his face. "Now you are ready? The so what spirit is the only thing the Great Spirit fears. When you can lose everything and still say, 'Is that all you've got?' you have already won, even if you never get a trophy." Spring arrived, and with it, a challenge. A rival tribe had blocked the mountain pass to the summer hunting grounds. The warriors of Chayton's tribe prepared for a massive, bloody frontal assault. They were ready to die for glory. Chayton approached the chief. "Let me go first, not with a lance, but with a message." The warriors laughed. "You? You can barely hold a shield." But the chief, seeing something different in Chayton's eyes, a quiet, unshakable hardness, nodded. Chayton didn't walk into the enemy camp. He didn't act like a hero. He used the way of the Coyote. He spent 3 days observing. He saw that the rival tribe was suffering from a sickness. They weren't blocking the pass because they wanted war. They were blocking it because they were terrified and dying. Instead of an army, Chayton brought them the medicinal roots Wakan had taught him to find during the winter. He brought them the Coyote's wisdom. He didn't win a battle. He ended a war before it started. When Chayton returned, he wasn't greeted with the songs of a slayer. He was greeted with the quiet respect of a man who had solved a problem the strong could only bleed over. He went to Wakan's lodge one last time. The old one was fading, his breath like the last gasp of a summer breeze. "I tried, grandfather," Chayton said, "and I think I won." Wakan shook his head weakly. "No, little falcon, you didn't win life. Life is a circle. It will come for you again tomorrow. It will bring more storms, more hunger, and eventually the great sleep. You cannot beat life." He reached out and touched Chayton's scarred hand. "But you did something better. You became a person who is worthy of the struggle. You learned that the hardness of life isn't an obstacle, it's the clay. And you, my boy, have finally learned how to be the potter. If you are standing in your own desert today, feeling like the odds are 1,000 to 1 against you, remember the falcon who became a coyote. Expect the pain. Don't act surprised when life hurts. It's part of the design. When you accept the struggle, it loses its power to shock you. Stop trying to be noble and start being effective. If the front door is locked, use the chimney. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Just don't stop. Fire 1,000 arrows. Don't get depressed because your first 3 attempts failed. You aren't bad, you're just still practicing. Say, so what? When you fail, and you will, Don't have a funeral for your ego. Dust yourself off, look at the wreckage and ask, what's next? Understand the true victory. Winning isn't a destination. It isn't a bank account or a title. Winning is the fact that you refuse to let the hardness of the world turn your heart into stone. Life is hard. You probably won't win. But the Great Spirit is watching to see how you handle the no. So stand up, pick up your bow, and shoot arrow number 21.